First of all, we've made good progress in the past year. We saw the CPTPP, a next generation trade agreement, come into force. Also, 3 APEC economies agreed on a way to modernize the North American Free Trade Agreement, and we also made progress on the Regional and Comprehensive Economic Partnership. But also, I think it's important to remember that regional economic integration is not just about trade. It's about economies coming together to address common challenges in areas such as education and skills development, labor mobility, health, and women's economic empowerment. And in an increasingly interconnected world, it's very important that we address these kinds of challenges because they can provide a stronger foundation for economic and trade relations. Regional economic integration will likely continue as long as economies and ordinary people see the benefits. I'm very encouraged by the fact that APEC economies, which have different cultures and are often at different stages of development, remain committed to continued regional economic integration. The challenges, the world is becoming more interconnected, and the challenges that we face together are becoming more complex and not less so. So I think that, that there are good prospects that regional integration efforts will continue, and I think APEC is a great forum to work on many of those initiatives. In the past year, we've made significant progress. For example, the CPTPP, a next generation trade agreement, has come into force. Also, 3 APEC economies have agreed on a way to modernize the North American Free Trade Agreement. And there's also been progress on the Regional and Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which actually involves many economies and actually more value by trade volume than the CPTPP. So I'd say that there are good reasons to be optimistic, and one reason that I'm optimistic is that economies are moving ahead with structural reforms that can not only make markets work better, but provide a firm underpinning for future progress on trade liberalization. Spending has always been a key driver of growth. Trade only arises when someone buys a good or service produced in another economy. One thing that concerns me is that the top 5% of income earners are capturing an increasing share of GDP, while labor's share of GDP is declining. And so I guess one solution would be to focus on pro-inclusion policies that increase economic opportunity for everyone and expand the middle class. And I think this has great potential to support consumption and future growth. But I would also recommend that APEC economies look at other sources of growth, such as harnessing the power of small businesses and also taking advantage of the digital economy and new technologies, which have great potential to drive the economy in future. The Economic Committee is working to align its structural reform work with the realities of the digital economy. New business models call for a different approach to regulation. So one of the big things that we're doing is we're developing holistic policy frameworks to address digital economy challenges. Also, measurement is really important. The traditional ways of measuring economic data don't really capture the activities of digital economy firms such as Google, Alibaba, and Grab, which is based in Singapore. So the Economic Committee is organizing a workshop during the first meeting in Chile's host year in Santiago on digital economy measurement, and we're going to focus on a measurement that's appropriate for improving regulations of the digital economy and also for increasing social inclusion in the digital economy. But I think our biggest contribution will come through our flagship product, which is the APEC Economic Policy Report. This year's report will be on structural reform and the digital economy, and Chile is leading the project. The report should provide recommendations on how to help businesses transition to more effective business models and on ways to effectively regulate the digital economy and also to promote inclusion in the digital economy. So I think that the APEC Economic Policy Report will make a contribution to APEC's overall efforts to address the digital economy.